The power of your voice lies not in just what you say, but in how you inspire, guide, and lift others up through your words. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Step Forward with Terri Mullen. Today actually marks episode 100. Woohoo! Can we just pause and celebrate that for a moment, because I am so proud of this accomplishment. And I want to thank each one of you for showing up and for being here today. We're actually going to dive in and talk about what it has taken to do 100 episodes of this podcast and what I've learned along the way. Okay, grab that cup of coffee and those headphones and listen in. Let's go. Welcome to Step Forward with Terri Mullen. If you're new here, welcome. If you have been following along for a while, welcome back, and thank you so much for being here. I'm a mom to 4 adults, a wife of 34 years, a midlife entrepreneur, and your confidence coach who transformed my own doubt into confidence to speak, write my book, start a podcast, and launch my own business. Now I empower other amazing women just like you to do the same. So lean in and learn how to crush that fear, amplify your voice, and build confidence to create your own impact and income. I'm here to encourage you and empower you every step of the way. Let's step forward. A few years ago, on a beautiful spring day, I sat in my car for several hours recording a 2-minute intro for what is now this podcast. Over and over and over, I recorded that short intro. Yes, as I reflect, my perfectionism was definitely in full bloom at that time, and I wanted to get it right. But at the same time, as I sat in the silence of my car, I learned a whole lot about myself doing that little recording. I was taking a course at the time, actually my very first online course, as I was stepping into the personal growth and development space and setting some new goals for myself. And one of the assignments was to do this podcast intro recording. And it intrigued me enough to actually go do the exercise. At this point, I was just trying to figure out what was next. I knew I wanted to write a book, but I also knew that I wanted to do more. I wanted to make a difference and help other women step forward with their lives. But I just wasn't quite sure what this looked like and how I was actually going to start this business. Anyway, I grabbed my iPhone and I plugged in my Apple headphones. Remember those wired ones that we all used to use? I felt oh so fancy. I had my iPhone, my Apple headphones with that wonderful microphone that was attached to it, and I had the record button on my iPhone. So I opened the door of my car and I sat in what I call my car recording studio, and I hit record on the phone. I decided to share my heart, and I was just hoping to inspire another woman on the other side of that microphone. And as I recorded and then listened back to my voice, something magical happened. I didn't hate the sound of my voice. In fact, it actually empowered me. As I spoke, it excited me, and I felt a flame begin to flicker in my soul, and I paid attention to it. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever felt a flicker of something new that's happening in your life? Or a new desire? If so, lean into it. I thought maybe, just maybe in that moment, that I could inspire other women. I could be a voice and help them feel seen and heard and loved and valued and reminded that they belong. And if you've been following along for a while, you know that I now say this at the end of every podcast. And as I reflect here today, I realize my goal was to inspire the woman who was wondering what was next. The woman who was navigating life transitions. The woman who was wondering who she is now in this season of life. The woman who had shelved her idea to start a business or write a book or even start a podcast or pursue any other dream or goal that she had. And she is the woman who was full of doubt and she wasn't sure where to start. I was inspiring the woman who questioned that she was even qualified and felt like it was too late. And so here we are. This is where my journey began, sitting here behind this microphone. My journey to speak up, to share my voice, to share my ideas, my thoughts, and my experience. The good, the really hard, the very messy, and everything in between, right? This became a safe space for me to speak without judgment, to speak and be free to be just myself, and allow other women to speak up and be free themselves. So starting this podcast has been the very best thing I've ever done. And you've heard me say this before. This is my happy place. And it truly is. As I sit here in the quiet of the morning with my warm cup of coffee and my thoughts, it's a safe space for me to share what I have learned along the way and what I continue to learn as I step forward with my life and offer encouragement and hope and help to you on the other side of this microphone. It's been a safe space for me to share my story and allow other women to share theirs. And so, here we are, episode 100. Woohoo! I'm still here, I'm still standing, I'm still speaking, and I am so proud of that. Data actually shows that 75% of all podcasts fade and stop after 7 or 8 episodes. In podcast lingo, it is known as pod fade, and it means that those who have started a podcast actually fade out and quit after 7 or 8 episodes. So, doing 100 episodes? Yeah, definitely something to celebrate. It takes a lot of tenacity, a lot of grit, a lot of courage, a willingness to be vulnerable, and a whole lot of resilience. Additionally, do you know that only 29% of women are actually podcast creators? Pretty astounding, right? So here's a shout out to all the female podcasters. I celebrate each one of you. Thank you for paving the way. And for those of you who have a desire to become a podcaster, lean into that and step forward and go for it. Some things have changed along the way since I started this podcast, like the name. I started from Hello Redlow to now Step Forward with Terri Mullen. Step Forward reflects my book. I actually wrote a book, Step Forward, for those of you that don't know. It reflects my coaching, Step Forward Coaching, and it reflects my mission to help other women take courageous action and step forward with their life. It is a very forward-focused action, and it just really is the mission that I have and the vision that I see for where we're headed with this. I resisted the change at first, honestly. It is really hard letting go and making changes, especially when you start something new, because it's your baby, right? But I got some coaching, and as we know, holding on isn't always the best. As we grow, our business and whatever we're doing also has to grow, because when we don't, when we stay stuck, we stay stagnant and we resist that change, then often our dream and our vision and our business will die. So it's so important to embrace that change as you grow and get advice and support from other people that have gone before you. Hello Redlow remains my business name. Redlow is older spelled backwards, and it's a very special part of me. I have given it an identity. She is you. She is me. She is the woman I speak to each time I sit here behind this microphone. And my mission remains the same: to empower you, to encourage you, and to help you find your voice and believe in who you are. Most importantly, know that it is definitely never too late to step forward and discover your next purpose and to go after it. And today, as I look back and reflect on my journey over these past 100 episodes, I've not only honed my own speaking skills, but I've gained incredible, invaluable insights into myself and my business and some things that I have learned along the way. Number one, our stories connect us, and we all have a story to tell. The story that tells us who we are and where we've been and what got us here to this place we are today. I believe that every person has a story that needs to be shared because it allows us to connect with others and help others feel like they're not alone. It offers hope and help and connects us to one another. Number two, let go of perfectionism. Boy, this is a big one for me. As a recovering perfectionist, I have learned that getting it done is so much better than just trying to get it all perfect. And anytime we start something new, we're going to be a hot mess. We start messy. And it's our imperfect moments that make us real. They make us human, and it connects us to one another. Stumbling over our words or not saying it all perfectly or recording in your car in a small space and not making it seem like it's this grand big deal, it makes you human. And yes, I look back as I recorded that first intro over and over and got stuck in my perfectionism. I learned a lot from that moment on. I learned that if I was going to try to do it that way, I would never record more podcasts. Sometimes you just got to get in and do it and show up and do it the best you can. Trent Shelton's a perfect example of that. Sometimes he just gets on and just starts talking. So when we do it imperfectly, that's our strength. It's not a weakness. Number three, it takes courage. So just start. Getting started is often the hardest part. We just have to get over ourselves, and we have to get out of our own way and step beyond our limiting beliefs, those things that want to hold us back. And then we have to step forward and take courageous action. I had to really listen to that still small whisper in my soul, that flame that began to flicker, and I hope you do too. It's God's Spirit whispering to you and guiding you forward. So take that idea that you have and step forward and just start. Put pen to paper, voice to microphone, and idea into action. Number four, the battles we fight are worth it. The battles I have fought in my own life, those very hard and messy things that I've had to step through, have been my greatest life lessons. They are the things that have shaped me most and given me the courage to show up here. They have given me my next purpose and my passion. They have been the beautiful things that have helped me rise from the ashes. Number 5, let go of other people's opinions. I was so afraid of what other people thought. I have always been concerned what other people thought. It was scary putting myself out there. Starting this podcast, are you kidding me? Being vulnerable? I was really afraid of being judged. But I realized that no one has walked in my shoes. And I have learned to stop giving my power away to everyone else. I have stopped living other people's dreams and started working hard to create my own. I don't need other people's approval, and neither do you. If other people don't get it, it's okay. Help those that do. If other people leave, that's okay too. They might. Let them, as Mel Robbins says, let them. Number 6, let your light shine. Stop playing small. When I first started this podcast, a lot of people didn't even know that I was doing it. Some of the people that were closest to me, I had one of my very dear friends that I've known for 30 years send me a text and said, "Hello, Redlow." I hadn't even told her that I started this podcast, and she learned about it from another friend. So how ridiculous is that? Don't do that. It's so silly. But we all have to step beyond those things that keep us hiding and keep us playing small. Number 7, believe in the power of your voice. Your voice has the power to inspire, uplift, and create change. And I've come to believe deeply that the impact of our voice can really make a difference and help others move forward. Number 8, trust yourself. This is one of the most significant lessons I've learned along the way. It has taken me a long time to trust my voice, to trust my own inner knowing, and know that my experience can help someone else. Yes, you can take the courses and get advice. It's all important, but you have to trust your idea, your vision, and your dream. No one can tell you whether it's really right or wrong. The market is your greatest teacher. It will tell you if you're getting it right. You're constantly testing and constantly seeing if it's right or wrong. That's your feedback. And I've had to reconnect with the leader within myself and trust that entrepreneur that is alive in me, the one that made 6 figures. And I've had to trust that I am qualified, that I make great decisions. And so can you. Number 9, be tenacious, be consistent, keep stepping forward, even when you want to quit and when it's really hard. And finally, number 10, take care of you because no one else will. And this gets hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. If it was easy, everybody else would be doing it. And it's so easy to get on that rat wheel. You've heard me talk about this many times in many different podcasts. So really make sure you set boundaries. Make sure you really lean into your own spirit and how you feel. When you feel run down, take a pause. It's okay. And step back. And then find people that can help you and lift you up and support you and help you move forward. So some of the most popular episodes that I've done have been my interviews. I have interviewed some amazing women who have reinvented themselves, started again with their businesses, their life, and their dreams. They're friends. They are women I've met along the way on this journey of podcasting and personal growth and through different courses I've taken. They're women that are close to me. They're women that live far away and halfway around the world. And they are women like my own daughter. They are women I greatly admire. They are women who have risen from hard things, who have overcome loss, who have navigated their own life transitions and decided to chase better, to start again, to write books, to start businesses, and realize that it's never too late. So look throughout my podcast library and find some of these interviews. There's some really powerful stories of women who have stepped forward. Some of my top solo episodes have been those that have inspired you to step forward, those that have helped you love yourself beyond hard things, those that have helped you learn to be resilient. Those episodes where I've shared how you have to start right where you are. Those episodes where I've asked, what if? What if all that you have been through, all that it has happened to you has happened for a reason? What if it leads you right where you are today? And those episodes that help you step beyond that trap of approval and believe in the power of your voice. My own personal favorite episodes, the very first one I did, the trailer and the intro. I listened to it again today and it just makes me smile because I think back to the woman who sat in her car with an idea and a willingness to try something new. She paid attention to the whisper in her soul. She paid attention to something that was beginning to flicker in her spirit and something that was lighting her up. She found her voice. And for me, Although my voice wasn't perfect in those early episodes, my passion to start definitely was. The other episode that is one of my favorites is episode 57, where I talk about the shoes because it's the story of my book, Step Forward. I describe the 10 shoes I used in my book as metaphors. Each shoe has a personality, each shoe means something to me, and each shoe was something I stepped into in order to step forward with my life and inspire other women to do the same. And it was there in that book where the work really began, the journey to be vulnerable, the journey to share the battles that I have stepped into, those battle boots, that I had to walk through the muck of my life and the fire, beyond the doubt, the fear, feeling alone, being rejected, and feeling unqualified, to gain confidence and find my voice in my personal and professional life and in my marriage. I get real in my book and I share those moments in my life when I felt shut down, those moments when I felt like I didn't matter or I didn't belong, those moments when I wanted to quit, and those moments when that people pleaser in me could no longer please others. In my own marriage, we hit a crossroad, and suddenly I was faced with broken communication, a business failure, financial stress, and so many other things that I share in my book that almost caused a fracture in my marriage. And I share in episode 4, Hello Love, after 32 years, a little bit about that story. All of this has led me to finding my voice and speaking up in my professional life as an author, a podcaster, a coach, and an entrepreneur. I've learned to step into those courageous cowboy boots that I describe, to take courageous action. I learned to step into those tenacious tennis shoes with tenacity and keep moving forward when I wanted to quit. I found the strength to keep going. I rose up through really messy waters and stepped into those resilient rain boots to start again. And then I stepped into those confident Hello Red Low high heels and decided that I finally deserved to be in that room, at that table, in those pages, and here behind the microphone to encourage you, to empower you, and to inspire you and remind you that there's so much magic in you. All that you've been through is some of your greatest lessons, and you were created to help others step forward. Marilyn Monroe said that if you give a woman the right shoes, she can conquer the world. That's a quote I use in my book, and I believe that wholeheartedly. That is what I describe in my book, those different shoes that we step into in order to step forward with our life. And we as women know how these different shoes make us feel, don't we? The moment we step into a high heel, we throw our shoulders back, we stand a little taller, we feel a lot more confident about ourselves. And that is the goal. That has been the goal of my book. That is the goal of my podcast. That is the goal of my coaching, to empower you and help you feel confident and help you step forward with your life. Your voice is a powerful tool as you lead, guide, and teach others. And whether you are a coach, an entrepreneur, or you desire to be one, and you're a midlife woman, your voice plays a crucial role in leading and guiding others just by the example that you are in your life experience. And your dreams and your goals matter. Don't let them die with you. Find the courage to step forward and go after them. And I'm here to empower you. If you need support, I do one-on-one coaching. I create a plan that's customized just for you to help you gain clarity and move forward with your life. And if you already are a coach or you aspire to be one, I have a 6-week course that I have just revised. It's called Speak. That will launch again in September and help you gain confidence to speak up in your own life, to find your voice, to speak on camera, learn to do short videos, and to grow your business. And if you desire to do a podcast, I now add that as an additional one-on-one coaching session to help you get started very quickly. And as we close, if you could do me one favor and leave me a review, I would really appreciate it because it lets me know that I'm making a difference in someone else's life with this podcast, and it helps the podcast grow. In addition, if you could just screenshot that and send me a DM, I will enter you into a drawing so that you could win a free copy of my book, Step Forward. But until we meet again, my friend, know that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, and you belong. And may you find the courage, the confidence, and the curiosity to step forward with your life, one step at a time. Thank you for listening in. Have an amazing day. Keep stepping forward, and may God truly bless you.